Coming up in just a few minutes, you know, if you've listened to the show for any length of time, that I study nutrition news like other people study fine art. I love it. So I read an article last week that fascinates me. And there's a doctor, a USC reacher, Walter Longo. That's a cool name, isn't it? As a matter of fact, Greg, I've decided I'm going to start calling you Walter. Walter? Just going to shout, Walter! Walter Longo. I just love that name. In any case. And it's been known for a very long time that fasting and calorie restriction can actually help extend your lifespan. And I don't know if you've ever seen these calorie restriction people. And if you're a CR person, please don't take this personally. But they all look emaciated. They all look so skinny and pasty. But they are the healthiest people in the room. But they also restrict their calories significantly. Like for an average guy is living on 1,000 calories a day. Well, a normal human being, well, most of us would get really bored with that pretty darn quick. But joining me now, he is an oncologist who has written a book called Sugar Rehab, which is outstanding. Dr. Gerald Edelman, good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I find this new story, I saw it last week, about how periodically doing some, and I don't know how to say it other than like light fasting. I don't know. It's not a full fast because
no.
I think the concept of not eating anything for most people is like, there's no way, no how I'm going to do that. But there seems to be this school of thought that says a temporary light fast, meaning you are eating for a few days, can actually have a really strong benefit on your health.
Yeah. And so I think there's validity to this. So what they did was they, twice a month for 4 days, they had people eat about 50% of the calories that they normally eat in a well-balanced, planned diet, with a mixture of protein, veggies and things. And it improved all the markers of, improved health. Like one of the most important ones, I think, is insulin. And it decreased their insulin levels, and that's correlated with good health because too much insulin is bad.
But does it decrease the insulin levels outside of that 4-day window? This is the part that fascinates me.
Yeah.
So let's say you eat this very structured, very rigid. For the average person, we're talking about, 900, 1,000 calories a day, maybe?
Right.
And so you're eating this, but the effects seem to go past that 4-day window.
That's right. So I guess an analogy would be that it throws some biological switches that actually have a prolonged positive effect. People, you don't really understand exactly how that works, but you're quite right. Twice a month, 4-day period of time, that limited caloric intake throws some biological switches that have a sustained effect. And one of them, not all of them, but one of them is to decrease insulin growth factor, which, I wrote a book called Sugar Rehab, which your readers can get on.
It's fantastic, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
drjerrys.com or Amazon. The idea with that is to just keep a sustained low insulin and low blood sugar level throughout the day. I have a bias, obviously. I think my book's more sustainable than trying these fasting diets. But I do think there's validity to the fasting. I just think it's going to be hard to do, right? Well,
I've read about in the past these people who are on a calorie restriction plan. These people are hardcore. And I've said they look like the most emaciated people in the room, but when you look at their overall health, they live longer, they live healthier, but most of us are simply not going to live on 900 calories a day for the rest of our lives. It's not going to happen.
No, it's not. And so the lack of sustainability is bad. So that's why you have to make a lifestyle change, and you have to eat that low sugar diet that we talked about in my book and try to do something that's sustainable. The whole thing is it's really hard to get people to be disciplined about anything. It's just hard for us to do. I should say us, not people. So these fasting programs are going to be really difficult.
But you know what, Dr. Jerry, here, that I'll be perfectly frank. I look at this, I'm of the mindset I can do anything for 4 days at a time. You know what I mean? I can do anything for this amount of time. And when I read this last week, I was looking for the diet plan. I'm like, I will jump in, I will try it, I will see what happens. I'm like a lot of American consumers of nutrition information where I don't jump on every bandwagon, but, in the past I have, for sure. As I've gotten older, I tend to look for stuff that's more based in sound science rather than some fitness expert who says, this is what I do and you should do it. But the reality is that for me, it's not that I have a horrible diet. I really don't. I eat, far better than I did 20 years ago. But I look at this and say, okay, 4 days, twice a month of me just, eating very calorie or very nutrition dense foods. That's appealing to me.
Yeah, I think that you're commendable, and I wish everyone had, your enthusiasm, because I think it's good, for your health and quality of life. Most people don't have your enthusiasm, but you know what I say? If you can go through the diet, and you like this type of approach, I think it's good, and I think there's validity to it. Whatever works is my motto.
Well, obviously, this is going to be, and now I understand that he's just gone to human trials, right? I mean, he's done this yeast and mice. So this is just going to human trials. And then it's also my understanding that he's working on, I guess, a line of products that will provide the needs for you while you do this 4-day diet. What is the time frame on this kind of research, though? I mean,
well, that last part I don't like. Because whenever there's a product involved, that means it's not sustainable.
Right.
Like if you go on a trip to Europe or you go on vacation. So I don't like that part of it. I would prefer if we knew, what the right balance was, we could do it on our own.
Right.
But what was your second question?
What is the process? How long will the human trials take is the question.
Oh, that's the problem, right? Human trials take, it depends on your markers, but you could probably get important information in about a year. But the long-term effects, that's 5 to 10 years. Short-term markers, probably only take 6 months to a year to get.
So we should have some kind of idea of how effective this is pretty soon.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think there's some validity. Animals that go on a low-calorie diet, they live longer. That's been known for a long time. So this fits. There's certain biological switches that are thrown with caloric deprivation.
But does this kind of go back to, how we started as human beings when there were long periods of fasting because we didn't kill the right, we didn't kill anything to eat. So we would have these long periods of fasting.
No, I think you're really smart and observant. Yeah, I think that would be a possible explanation, is that it's a natural thing for us to go through periods where we can't eat. And it probably is an evolutionary adaptation that ends up being healthy for us.
Right.
The bottom line is we overeat, and most of what we overeat in our society is sugar.
Yep.
And that's where that Sugar Rehab book I wrote. I really hope some of your readers will pick that up and look at it.
I read it when it first came out. It's been out for some time now, and it's a wonderful book for people who are looking for, and this is the thing, if you're looking for one silver bullet to change your diet, read this book, and it'll give you a silver bullet that will have a significant impact on your overall health. That's it.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Dr. Jerry Edelman, you can pick up the book at drjerry.com or at Amazon. It's called Sugar Rehab. I appreciate your time this morning.
Oh, thank you very, very much.
No problem. Have a great day. And, this kind of stuff appeals to me because, honestly, I can do anything for 4 days. How many people feel that way?